Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hi everyone. This is actually a recording for MeSTI Certification. Okay, before we dive in deeper, let us have a look at the definition of MeSTI. Yeah, MeSTI is actually an acronym for Makanan Selamat Tanggungjawab Industry, which is actually established by the government Ministry of Health of Malaysia, where M here represent is actually an acronym for makanan, ES here for selamat, yeah, part of the selamat, and T is tanggungjawab, and I is the industry. This is actually in Malay, yeah, in the Malay language, but in English is actually food. The meaning in English is food safety is the responsible of industry. And MeSTI is actually part of the food safety assurance program, apart from the good manufacturing practice and hazard analysis critical control point. However, especially for the small and medium enterprise, it is quite difficult for them to fulfill the requirement for GMP and hazard. So that's why MeSTI certification is being made by the Ministry of Health. So the Ministry of Health introduced a scheme that is easily achievable, but fulfill the minimum requirement of Food Hygiene Regulation 2009. This is the one that we have looked into it. This is the regulation that we have looked into in our previous lecture, where it is mandatory for all the food company to be fulfilled. Food Safety Assurance Program is a system of plant practice that is documented and guarantees that any particular type of food will not harm customer when consumed. So this is a very important keyword that we have to highlight here. So any particular type of food will not harm the consumer when it is consumed. So this regulation, the Food Safety Assurance Program, really help in ensuring that the food is safe to be eaten. And these are the example of food safety assurance program that we have in Malaysia. So, and these are the example of food product that uh, have the MeSTI certification apart from halal or other type of certification. So as long as when we see there is a MeSTI certification of in any food product, it gives us confidence that at least it fulfills the minimum food safety requirement that needed by the in producing any of the food product. You may also find more information about MeSTI certification from the official website of Food Safety and Quality Division by the Ministry of Health. There is a specific section for MeSTI here, so there will be, and also they will also provide the guidelines. So I have also uploaded the guideline in the UKM folio. So I encourage and I hope all of you can read all the guidelines in the food safety in the MeSTI requirement guidelines, so that you will not miss any of the information. As compared to other food safety assurance programs, MeSTI certification normally target the small and medium enterprise, and normally it is free as compared to other type of program, which are normally there will be fee imposed. And as you can see here, MeSTI certification was implemented in 2012, which is much more junior as compared to other type of implementation such as GMP, where it was implemented in 2007, and HACCP, which has been implemented in 1998. And in comparison to other type of food safety assurance program, MeSTI fulfill the minimum requirement needed as compared to GMP, HACCP, and ISO 22000. And ISO 22000 is the globally recognized food safety assurance program. And if you purchase any food or any food product that is certified by the ISO 22000, we can be almost sure that it is quite safe, because it is the most stringent food safety assurance program available globally. Yeah? But at least the MeSTI certification will also fulfill the minimum requirement of the food safety assurance program. This is the ladder that need to be fulfilled by all the food industry in order to get the ISO 22000. So the first step that they must climb is to get the MeSTI certification. And there is one requirement that we will see the other requirement that for a fast track application later on, where for those or for any company that already have the GMP and HACCP, they will get the fast track application. They will get the fast track certification for MeSTI without any auditing. This is because normally GMP and HACCP has more strict requirements as compared to the MeSTI. So as long as they fulfill the requirement for GMP and HACCP, so it will also fulfill the requirement for the MeSTI certification. And MeSTI certification is also a rebranding of the previous scheme, which is Scheme Keselamatan Makanan Satu Malaysia (SK1M), yeah, where it improved in the control of contamination, risk control, and also the traceability of the food product in the market, yeah, and it is provide a much better alternative to the previous scheme. As I mentioned in the previous slide, this is actually the scheme. MeSTI is actually a scheme to rebrand and replace the One Malaysia Food Safety Scheme, SK1M. And MeSTI is also a form of food safety assurance system certification scheme imposed by the MOH, managed by the Ministry of Food Safety and Quality Division, where it is actually the lowest form of food safety assurance program where minimal requirement is imposed on the food-based business operator. Yeah. And through MeSTI certification, the food primers will be coached in the development and implementation of food safety assurance program prior to the obtaining of the recognitions. This is actually we have also already discussed all the information here in the slide. The validation of the MeSTI certificate will last for 3 years, and there are condition of application. The detail for the detailed information is all provided in the guideline, in the MeSTI guideline that I have uploaded in the UKM folio. Make sure so that you will not miss any of the important information. So these are the among the conditions. First is the company must be registered with the company commission SSM. The company must also register with Ministry of Health through the food premise registration form. So the form is also there is the guideline in the guideline they also provide the form, or you may also obtain online. And the premise have a license from the local or from any government agency. There are many benefits in obtaining the MeSTI certification. Among the facilitate the product marketability at Kedai Rakyat Satu Malaysia. I'm not sure whether we still have Kedai Rakyat One Malaysia, Satu Malaysia anymore, or Koperasi Satu Malaysia, but I think it has been rebranded into a new name nowadays because I haven't seen this type, this shop anymore. But it must be rebranded into new name, yeah. As well as open up marketing opportunities at hypermarket and other like establishment. And it's also facilitate the issuance of free sale certificates, where actually a free sale certificate serve a document which state that the product can be freely sold in Malaysia. This is a very important certificate for the company to obtain it, for any of the company to be obtained, yeah, in order for them to freely sell their product through in Malaysia. And then it helped in fulfilling the legal requirement under the Food Hygiene Regulation 2009 and establishing a food safety assurance program, free technical coaching by the MOH, yeah, benefit from the promotional activities, MeSTI logo on food product label assure customer safety of the food. So this is the logo, MeSTI logo is very important actually, yeah. Before I learned about this food safety assurance program, I never bothered about this information. But nowadays, when I want to purchase any food, always have a look into this certification, where because it will give you confidence that this the product that you purchase is actually fulfilling that this fulfill the minimum food safety requirement that are required by the government. So these are the application procedures. It must be up to the FOSSI website, or you can also download the application form in the fsq.moa.gov website as well. Okay, and these are the application. All application and supporting document for MeSTI certification must be submitted to the MOH, State of Health Department or District Health Office, where the premises are located. So these are the set of documents to be submitted, yeah, and all of this document is actually available in the guidelines. So you may have a look into the document, and as well as other requirement here stated here. You may read all the requirement, yeah, as stated in the guidelines here. However, there are also special occasions where some companies may get the fast track certification, fast track MeSTI certification. So it will be awarded to the following applicant without going through the audit process. Firstly is the holder of GMP or HACCP certificate issued by the MOH. This is and the secondly is the holder of packaged drinking water, natural mineral water, and ice preparation license issued by the MOH with effect from March 2014. This is, as I mentioned earlier, this type of certification is much more, it requires much more strict guideline. The guideline is much more stringent as compared to the MeSTI certification. So as long as the company has followed the GMP or HACCP, the company can easily get the fast track certification of the MeSTI. So, and it is also free. The application is free, and there is no fee imposed for the application certification, MeSTI certification. There are several elements involved in MeSTI certification program, which are subdivided into section A and section B, yeah, or part A or part B. So part A covers the control of premise, yeah, where it involve the design and facilities, food handlers, training, maintenance, and sanitation. And for control of operation, it covers the raw material control, process control, packaging control, storage control, and transportation and distribution control. So if you look at the requirement here or at the element covered by the MISTI, it is almost similar to the Food Hygiene Regulation 2009 that we have discussed in the previous lecture. Okay, let us have a look at the first element, which is the design and facility. For this first element, it covers the location, the layout, equipment and hardware, water, ice or stream supply, wash basin, toilet, changing area, and storage area. It's almost similar to the one that we have covered in the previous lecture. So for the location, it must answer this question: is the location of the premise suitable for the processing activities and protected from source of contamination? If no, there are appropriate control in place. So this is a very important information or question for the location actually. So for the location, selection of the location, it must be free from industrial pollutants, not prone to flooding, areas are not prone to infestation, and the area that is unclean is not suitable for the preparation or the location of the food uh, factory. Yeah, and area where waste or either solid or liquid can be removed effectively. So it also must provide the layout of the premise, yeah. So the layout of the premise must be available, and it helps to hinder the cross contamination and facilitate the sanitation activities. So these are actually there is it is a direct answer to this question actually. So the overall plan layout shall avoid cross-contamination and facilities arrangement enabling easy access for cleanliness and pest control monitoring, and also the size of equipment and facilities suits the space or the room on area. And the proper plan layout should follow U or L way of processing flow. So we will have a look into what is U and what is L way of processing flow. Yeah, these types of plan layout will help in reducing the risk of cross contamination, and it is more efficient because it's follow the process flow of the product. So this is actually the example of a U-shaped plan layout plan where this is the area where you enter in area, and this is the area where you move out. Yeah, you out of the facilities. So it is a one-way area. Yeah, after you cannot go two direction. It is actually if you want to get into this from a raw material storage area, there will be a division to the packaging area, so you cannot easily enter these different section. So this is actually made to hinder the cross contamination from happening. So the shape of the layout is resembling the U shape. Yeah, so that's why it is called U shape plan layout. Whenever you want to move into new area, or you want to move into a new area, apart from properly use a proper dress, there will be an area where you need to wash your feet actually. Yeah, and you need to wash your feet to avoid the cross contamination to happen. Um, so this is the pre-mixing area and this is the packaging area. So it's one floor for pre-mixing, packing, and also packaging. So this is the basic plan layout. Basic plan layout. As we discussed in the U shape, it's a one-way process. You cannot just move not two directional way. Next is about the equipment and hardware. Okay, use unused equipment and hardware remove equipment clean. So these are all the requirements for the equipment. Okay, these are example of clean equipment, and this is example of unclean suitable. And the water must be 1.4 covers the water, ice, and stream supply. It must have the safe water supply. Um, Safe and sufficient water supply that is protected from pollution. So it must be in a container. Choose from ensure that the food is clean and safe to be used. Is water is from the water supply department, so this is required. An available supply of potable water should be equipped with storage facilities, distribution facilities, temperature control if necessary. Usage for processing and cleaning surface in contact with food, also used for rinsing and packaging materials. And the water must be equipped with water filter to help to remove pathogen, to remove chemicals such as chlorine and carbon, and also to ensure that the product is in a good quality. Next is the wash basin. The wash basin is hand-free. It should be hand-free operated. Wash basin provided with suitable soap or liquid cleanse. in dispenser with sufficient running water as well as proper or hand dryer. And there must be seven-step hand washing procedure in place in the form of poster or others. So these are the example of seven-step poster. Next is on the toilet. Yeah, the toilet must be clean, does not smell, and does not not damage. And it has a clean water source. And next is the hand washing facility provided with suitable soap and cleaner or cleanser in the absence of sufficient water and water. Does not directly open up the area. And then the sanitation procedures are required for toilet is valuable and control measures by operator on premise also in place. So if you notice, most of the requirement is almost similar to the food hygiene regulation 2009, yeah, that we have covered previously. And then for the changing in the belonging or change to protective clothing. This is condition, it has the good ventilation system in place, yeah, provide um, product storage, good arrangement and manner that facilitate the sanitation activities and etc. So you merit all on the all the requirement here. Next is on the element two. So we move on to the element two, which cover on the food handler. So it has several sub-elements. Firstly is a health examination. Second, anti-typhoid vaccination. Thirdly, handler practice. And fourthly, personal hygiene of handler and visitors, which is almost similar to the food hygiene practice. So in this elements, in this section, the food handler must undergo the health examination yeah, must undergo the health examination and also have a valid and the record of the health examination must be kept or must be recorded, and the food handler must also have the undergone or take the anti-typhoid vaccination. Okay, and the personal health, there's also requirement for the health or personal health or the food handler. The personal health, the food handler must undergo routine medical checkup, yeah, and with records. And any person whom confirmed to disease that can affect the food quality of food are not allowed in the food processing area. Management should provide the medical facilities, at least the first aid kit for the staff, and any health-related complications need to be reported to the officers or to the upper management. This is to avoid cross-contamination to happen. These are the example of health-related complications that need to be reported, such as diarrhea, fever, jaundice, skin infection, and infection on eyes, ear, and nose. So this all these type of disease is easily transmissible. So if let's say the food handler does not report, there is a higher risk of there are higher chances that the food handlers can cross-contaminate the food products. That's why it is very important for the food handlers to report the health status of the handlers. And for the handler practice, the handler should not smoke, spit, cough, sneeze, and other acts that may lead to contamination of food. Need to wear apron or protective clothing, and also it should not be taken into toilet. Yeah, if the handlers want to go to the toilet, they must take out the protective clothing or apron first, then only they go to the toilet. And then food not placed in direct contact with material that may contaminate it, and procedure for food handling practices in place. This is the example of suit of processing code, protective code for the food handlers. So it must fulfill this all of this requirement as presented in this picture here. Next is on the personal hygiene practice. Yeah, the food handler must wear proper protective clothing. It must they also need to wash hand after using the toilet, touching the face, nose, mouth, and ears, handling raw material, handling face cleaning area. Processing area, the hair and need to be tied, and need to wear the hair cap to cover the hair. The nail must also be in clean condition, and no nail polish allowable. So this is an example of a good hand care, yeah, where the fingernail are kept short and clean, and the food handler are not allowed to use false or fake nails, or the food handler are also not allowed to. Next is elementary, the third element where it covers the training of the food handler, yeah, training course for the food handler and also the training record. So the food handlers training course, first is the food handler training course. All food handlers have undergone the food handler training course conducted by the handler training school recognized by the Ministry of Health. So it is compulsory for all the food handler to undergo this training. Yeah. And then a food handler training program procedure for workers in place. They must also have a food training program for the workers in place. And record for training record and certificate must kept in an appropriate way that facilitate the inspection. So there will be so in several occasions there will be inspection by the health inspector. So all of this information must be there during this inspection, must be presented or available during the inspection. Next, we move on to the fourth element where it covers the maintenance and sanitation of the facility. So in this element 4, in the fourth element, it covers the four floor condition of the wall, ceiling, fan, window and doors, condition of the light, drainage, rubbish dump, surrounding of the premises, sanitation activities, pest control and waste management. So if you notice all of these condition or all of this information we have already covered in Food Hygiene Regulation 2009. It is actually almost similar. For the floor condition, the floor surface is clean and in good condition with no puddles. Yeah. There must also procedure for floor cleaning in place. Yeah. And then the condition of the wall, ceiling, fan, windows, and doors should not contribute, should be clean and should not contribute to the contamination. There must also a cleaning schedule and record in place. So the light are clean and in good condition, covered in the processing area. So the light must be covered in the processing area, and there must also cleaning schedule and record in place. So this is the example of the flooring system that must be in place in the facilities. Yeah, it need to have a concave curve corner, not the flat corner. Yeah. It is to facilitate for easy for cleaning and to avoid the accumulation of dust. Yeah, and it it must be also light in color, so that if there is any dust or any dirt, you can easily notice it. Yeah, and the floor must also be in a good condition with no puddles and etc. So and next is the example of this is the example of a good wall where the wall is smooth, has a smooth surface, where it facilitates easiness to clean and also easy we can also easily notice if there are any depth in the wall as compared to this space will make it difficult cleaning process to be carried out. So we must avoid the rough surface wall. So next is on the drainage. The clean drainage must be include the clean drainage including drain entrances. The drain must be clean. Yeah? And then there must be cleaning schedule and record in place. So next is on the rubbish dump. No rubbish dump outside or on the premises. Procedure for waste disposal is clean and then the surrounding premises in clean condition and there must be schedule and record in place. Next is on the sanitation activities. Cleaning is carried out at least once every day. These are the schedule prepared. Cleaning is not carried out during the food preparation or processing. Use of appropriate cleaning and disinfecting agent which are kept in the area separate from the food processing area. Equipment and hardware wash clean before and after use. Procedure for correct surface sufficient cleaning of equipment as well as cleaning schedule and record should be in place. Yeah, and the use of appropriate cleaning and disinfecting agent we have already covered this in the GHP good hygiene practice in the lecture before. So you need to know what type of chemical to be used in order to effectively clean the surface of the wall or floor of the facility. Next is on the pest control. No usage of poison in the processing area for pest control purpose. Pest control methods are available. Effective pest control implementation, no sign of the pest present, and procedure for pest control inspection required in place. So this is very important to ensure there will be no cross-contamination on the food that are being produced. So next is on the waste management for solid and liquid. The waste material is not left too long on food premises. Waste bin washed in a good condition, sufficient number of covered and hands-free wash bins, waste collection or disposal in a clean and well-maintained condition, procedure and record for material dumping and waste disposal in place. Okay. So next is on the fifth element, which is the raw material control. Yeah. So where it covers the raw material acceptance control, reception area, and raw material cleaning facility. For raw material acceptance control, there must be record in place, and the complete procedure for each receipt of raw material must be also in place. Such as source, food, record, temperature, and responsible person. So all of this must be recorded. Reception area must be received in appropriate area. The raw material must be received in the appropriate area, and suitable raw material cleaning facility are also available for the raw material cleaning facility. And there must be a cleaning procedure for cleaning raw material in place. Next is on the sixth element where it covers the process control. So for 6.1 it covers the control of biological hazard. Next 6.2 it covers the chemical hazards, control of physical hazard and processing activities, and 6.5 covers the standard conformance. For the control of microbiological hazard, the microbiological control it must be in place for each processing step in respect of temperature, time, water activity, humidity, viscosity, and or acidity. The sanitation measure in place for each of the processing activity. microbiological control in place throughout the processing chain, effective cross-contamination prevention practices, and relevant record are complete. Same goes for the control of chemical hazard, where the chemical control must be in place for each of the processing step. No additive material are permitted or non-food chemical use throughout the processing chain. Procedure for control of chemical material in place throughout the processing chain, and the record must be completed. For the control of physical hazard, appropriate physical control must be in place for each of the processing steps in respect of foreign metal contamination such as filtration, sieving, or the use of metal detector. And the procedure for control of physical contamination must also be in place throughout the processing chain, and there must be a relevant record the relevant record must be completed and saved. For processing activities, there must be no processing activities that are carried out on the floor. If you look into the news, there has been some occasion where the health inspector confessed or caught some restaurant owner or worker that process their food on the floor, as you can see on the picture given. And so next is for the standard conformance. The procedure must conform to the food standard prescribed by the Food Regulation 1985. Next is element 7, which is focusing on the packaging control. In this element, we will discuss about the packaging material, packaging area, packaging activity, and also the labeling of the packaging. For the packaging material, the use of packaging material does not contaminate the food. So any packaging material that can contaminate any food product or the food product that are being delivered cannot be used. Next is packaging area. Packaging process carried out in an appropriate area. So for the packaging activity, it must not carry out on floor, as we have discussed on our previous slide. And the procedure for packaging control are documented. And there must be the labeling must comply with the basic labeling requirement, namely the actual product name and address of the manufacturer, ingredient list, net weight, and expiry date based on the product. So this for the labeling it also must comply with the food regulation 1985. Next is element 8, where it covers the storage control. So we will be discussing the segregation of the storage system, storage method, and labeling of the raw material. So for the segregation of the storage, there must be separate area for food and non-food product. So food and non-food product must be kept separately. So procedure for storage of raw materials, finished product are documented and recorded according to the product requirement. For the storage system, they must use the FIFO or FIFO, first in first out, or first expiry first out system. So this is the example of the first in first out system, where the 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 oldest product must be out first and the newest product will be placed last. So this food product storage can also be used in the not only in at home but also at the restaurant or any of the food servicing plant or facility. For the storage method, the raw material must be kept in an appropriate container. No packaging material in contact with food placed on the floor. Yeah. There must be 20 cm from the floor and 50 cm from the wall. Raw material and processed food are not kept in the same container. High-risk food and perishable raw material kept at the appropriate temperature in covered or wrapped container. Freezer or refrigerator are not overloaded with frozen or refrigerated food. Cold chain of refrigerated or frozen food not disrupted. Food kept at temperature suitable for natural characteristics of the food. Non-food chemical material not placed in and kept in the food processing area. And relevant record and control must be in place. And the raw material and food ingredient must be labeled. This, which is the last element for this MeSTI certification. It covers the transport and distribution control. So we'll be discussing about the transport vehicle, cleanliness of the transport vehicle used for the distribution, and also the temperature of the transport vehicle. For the transport vehicle, appropriate vehicle used for transport depending on the product used. Procedure for distribution and transport of food are documented and recorded as required. And the cleanliness of the transport vehicle used for distribution must be taken care of. The vehicle must be in clean, controlled, and verified condition. Record show the schedule and method of cleaning frequency and responsible over the vehicle transport vehicle. For the temperature of the transport vehicle, if using the refrigeration, if using refrigeration or freezer vehicle is the temperature suitable. So if depending on the product, if let's say if it is a frozen food product, the temperature must be below -18. Yeah. But if it is just a cold product, the temperature must be at least below -1 or 0 degrees Celsius. So and then a record of temperature control. Last but not least is the traceability control. So sorry, this is the last element, not the element transportation that I have mentioned earlier. So for the traceability, the method are in place to identify or retrace the product that has been distributed in the event of any violations or even contamination or any issues with the product. So there must be a right system to trace back the product, the food product, so that if let's say there is any problem or any contamination of the food product, we can easily retrace the product and retract the product back, like what was happening in some of the infant formula where it get contaminated with some heavy metal such as mercury. So without the good traceability system, it will be difficult to trace back the food products, and it will definitely affect the end consumer, especially the babies. Yeah, if let's say it is meant for the infant product. Which will be much more dangerous. And then the procedure for the traceability must be documented. All source of raw material, packaging material are identifiable. All finished product ready for delivering out of the factory that are identifiable, and record must be completed. So these are the example of MeSTI certification. So normally they will state the name of the company, and then there will be a director of food and quality department signature in the certificate. And sometimes they will also give the plug like this one to indicate that the company already has or already got the MeSTI certifications. That is all for now. Thank you.